Hey, what's going on, Speculation Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. First of all, I don't think he might still be live by the time I put this up. Either way, he was live a little bit earlier. Happy 1 million subs to Pat over on Deep Pocket Monsters. Man's been grinding, man's been working. I've talked to him a few times. Every single time I actually have, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's someone that deserves it. Someone that's been working real hard for that. Whether you like his content, whether you don't, man, putting the work. And honestly, it's something that's admirable for small creators such as myself and others to watch that and just see hard work pay off. Super cool stuff. Hope you're doing well, Pat. Hope everything's good. And hope everyone out there is doing well once again. Want to talk a little bit about Surging Sparks because it's something people are talking about a lot. I guess it's the newest set that came out. I've been talking a lot about it too. It's just the thing that flows off people's lips right this second. It's the thing that everyone has or wants to talk about or everyone's opening, and all the products just getting mass spec. I've seen people talk about pull rates a lot. I've seen people talking about like the booster bundles versus the ETBs versus the 3-pack blisters. That happens every single time one of these sets drop, okay? Every single time one of these drop. There's always someone that's like, okay, you got to get the 3-pack blisters. That's going to bless you. That's going to be the big money sauce. That's going to be the cheese that drips right off it, bro. There's people who say the ETBs, swear to God, will give you every pull that you ever want. Specifically, Pokemon Center ETBs. I've heard that a lot. I don't know how true that is because, once again, I haven't opened a Pokemon Center ETB. I have a couple of them, but it's only for like specific sets that I like. I'll open regular ETBs all day for that stuff because it's a little bit easier to get. Pokemon Center ones, it doesn't really fucking matter to me too much what the pull rates are. Booster bundles, I've opened my fair share of booster bundles, and in my opinion, this is how I feel about it. I know there's no basis to it scientifically whatsoever. Fucking take it how you will. I think booster bundles suck ass. I think booster bundles give you the worst pulls out of everything. I always think that booster boxes, I mean, the booster boxes have the most like set pull rate there is. So obviously you're going to have a better shot at that. I've had far better luck with booster boxes than any fucking other product I've ever had. I've definitely pulled some good shit from ETBs and 3-pack blisters. Usually, like, I think maybe one time from 151, I pulled a pretty good card from one of those. I think I pulled like a Venusaur or something like that in English for that. And I think that may be the only example I have. Any other time I've ever opened like booster bundles, mind you, I don't buy like fucking 20 of them and go through all those packs that would be. So what would be like 6 packs, well, 120 packs worth of booster bundles. I don't do that. So obviously people that play the numbers game are gonna have that more. But just me, everyday luck, that's just how I see. But that's not what everybody's talking about like in big droves. Everyone's talking about the fact that on TCG Player, if you go and look at what the booster box is selling for right now, they're getting pretty close to $200. They're getting pretty much right at that fucking $200 price point. When I looked today, I saw them sitting at about 195, 190, 188, somewhere in that time frame, somewhere in that actual price point. With a lot of speculation and further people that are just making all these guesses and assumptions that it's going to creep up even more. Now, the market will do what the market does. People will have their opinions and make their buys, and ultimately, if someone really wants these boxes to sell for about 250 bucks, someone can make these boxes sell for 250 bucks. I don't care what anybody says right this second. It's the first wave of stuff. Surging Sparks is going to have more product drop later on, but while it's sitting in that first wave, while it's actually just sitting there just hanging out, there's definitely people that could make it creep up another 20, 25, 30, up all the way up to like 50 bucks, and those booster buys could, especially with all the hype around this card right here. I will say, Pikachu, the old fucking glittery back Pikachu right here, the old Edward Pikachu fucking in Twilight right here. I will say that sucker's dropped a little bit. It's not quite the $700 masterpiece everyone thought it was here in a bit. It actually dropped down to about the measly price of $450. That's still insane for a modern chase card in Scarlet and Violet. That's a big deal. I guess I get it to a degree where people want some kind of hype to be around it and where people want like Pikachu to be, at least it's Pikachu, I guess. I don't think the card's personally that good. Me personally, I'm more of a Milotic guy. I think that Milotic card is actually where it's at in Surging Sparks. I think that card's absolutely beautiful. I've actually purchased a copy of it in Japanese not that long ago. I managed to get a copy of that stuff. I actually bought all the cards from Surging Sparks, not Surging Sparks, from Supercharged Breaker and Paradise Dragona that I was wanting. All those cards, I actually managed to pick all those up in Japanese and wanted to add those to my collection. Got those all coming. I'll probably have them here in a few days. And that was good enough for me. I'm probably not buying Surging Sparks at these prices. That $200 booster box price point, that's getting a little goofy to me. I ain't paying that. But if you want to, I'm not judging you. Feel free to pay what you want. Feel free to. I'm going to wait a little bit. Looks like I'm not going to be opening any Surging Sparks booster boxes for the page. It'll be all right. It's not a big deal. There's other stuff coming in the future. There's other things that'll happen. It's just around the holiday time frame, especially with like family want to do that stuff. I don't want to just blow a bunch of extra money on stuff when I could actually be blowing a little bit of money on like family and Christmas and holiday shopping and just giving stuff out for like other people around here, my friends here in the Pokemon community. I'd rather do that than spend that money on fucking an overpriced booster box, in my opinion. I know people are going to disagree and say that it's not overpriced. I do think that's overpriced. I think if something is that new, that the price for it should reflect it being that new. I still think it should be readily available, and like, so that's mostly on the Pokemon company, because another thing that people are saying, it's going to tie directly into that. I'm not just fucking spurging out for a second. So it's weird to me because I see a lot of people saying that Surging Sparks is short printed. And don't get me wrong, that's not the first time someone said that about his Scarlet and Violet set. It's just weird to me that, like, people are saying that, like, on Wave fucking 1. Like, the actual fucking new set is just out. And everyone's like, oh, it's super short printed. There's not enough to go around. That's why these prices are happening. So, I get what people are saying. It kind of does seem like that Pokemon maybe didn't anticipate the fucking massive amount of people stepping back into Pokemon, and there's definitely a lot of people stepping back into Pokemon. There's a lot of people that are making pages, making accounts, and looking for Pokemon cards to capitalize on, whether it be for their own personal collections, or to sell shit, or to get stuff for the holidays, or fucking just invest in it, or have sit on product for a couple of years, right? That is happening. There is a mass exodus of people just fucking coming in here right now. Just coming straight into our hobby and walking boots. And I don't think maybe they printed enough booster boxes maybe for all the stores to accommodate everybody in their local spaces that maybe did that, because we do have that surge of people coming in. To say, however, that the Pokemon company is just not going to print fucking Surging Sparks anymore is absolutely just batshit insane. I think that's just one of the craziest takes I've heard from like this first wave, or they're not going to at least make another wave of that stuff available. People tried saying this stuff with Evolving Skies. People tried saying this stuff with some of the other popular sets. Mind you, these sets did sell out pretty quick when they did restock, and people's demand for them were pretty fucking high. But it's not like they didn't bring more of it into the wild. It's not like there wasn't like bundles or stuff they had in it. It's not like there wasn't a chance for people to get more ETBs. There wasn't a chance for people to get more booster bundles, single packs, whatever. There's going to be ways people can still get Surging Sparks in the future. Just booster boxes, from what I've seen for the investor community and the money people talking about, booster boxes are where people want to go first to actually hold their long-term shit and sit on it. They think booster boxes are the way. And honestly, for me personally, I like booster boxes the most out of other stuff, and I could see that being where PokeTubers or people that want to offload stuff or things like that, it's just the biggest and easiest thing to move, in my opinion. It's the thing where you get the most bang for your buck, you got the best chance of pulls, and probably puts on the best show when you're opening that stuff up, if I had to guess how all that shit worked in their minds. For a short printed set, and for a very difficult, expensive card to pull, I have seen a fuck ton of people with the Pikachu. I'm just saying, I've seen so many people with the Pikachu SIR. I pulled it in Japanese. I did not pull it in Japanese. That's a lie. Virginia pulled it in Japanese. So we have that. It's a good card. It's still like not cheap. It's about 170 $160 in Japanese, which that's a pretty good card actually in Japanese pricing. That's pretty decent. I think it looks great. It's a fantastic card, like texture wise on stuff. I still don't think the art is absolutely amazing. It's just not for me, but I see where it is. I just don't understand why like it's such a difficult card to get. So I feel like I see everybody with that card right now. It almost seems like there's more Pikachus than booster boxes. It seems like there's more Pikachu SIRs than fucking boxes that shit in the wild. That's obviously not true. But the way people are posting up, I haven't seen very many people with the fucking Latias. I haven't really seen that many people with the Durant. If someone has the Japanese Durant and they're selling it here in the States, fucking hit me up on Instagram. I cannot find a fucking single person selling a Durant like from the actual supercharged breaker in Japanese, like in the States. It's all Japanese sellers, and their reviews and all that stuff, they're all over the place. It's like some of them are in like the low 90s, some of them are like 96, but they've only sold like 96 actually sucks too for eBay as well. Don't like, I understand Japanese sellers at one point were getting the fucking shit in the stick with reviews, but 96 is still like, I don't know about that. That Durant, I haven't seen anybody fucking posting that shit up. I'm sure some people have. There's gonna be people, I pulled it and I posted it up a little bit ago. Yeah, I haven't seen it. It's mostly people talking about the Pikachu. I think personally, like Pikachu for me, it's not a bad card, but it is one of the like not cards I personally would like for my collection. Obviously, pulling it would be fantastic if I was trying to complete English because of that price point. Because if I don't pull it, we have to buy it. It's sitting at like $450 right this second. A week ago or something, it was sitting at like $600. So there's that. It's just one of those things where I think the art and the cards for me personally, I like the Jasmine. That Jasmine card's fantastic. I do like the Clement. I think the Latias and the Milotic are truly the two best Pokemon cards in the set, with the Durant just having that nice little goofy factor. I love cards like that where they put a little bit of goof on it. They put a little bit of that extra goofy stuff. That connecting art, absolutely great. There's a ton of good ARs and actual art rares in Surging Sparks too, and some of them prices really ain't reflecting that much either, which is cool. That's not the issue. I definitely think some people are going to play the art rare game as Surging Sparks gets a little bit older. It's just funny to watch people talk about it. It's short printed. It's going to be difficult to get. There's going to be no reprints. I saw one person say that. I'm not going to give that any fucking credence. Somebody said that, and it just was like the biggest cope take I've ever seen. I was like, I get it. You bought 6 cases of booster boxes and you want those fuckers to be $700 like right now. I understand. I get it. I understand that's what you want, but like it's showing real hard right now that that's what you did. Anyway, if a booster box, if I can get one for a decent deal, I might grab one and open up for the channel. If not, not a big deal, but it's, the market is what the market does. I got what I need in Japanese. I got what I want. It's kind of funny. People are playing that whole thing. They do this for every like big hype set, and I'm wondering if it's going to actually progress further. I could see this being nutso massive bonkers on Prismatic Evolutions, and then like any set for year 3. Year 3, I could kind of see it cooling down a little bit, like midway through the year after the Rocket set comes out. We'll see what they kind of do. Year 3 is always a weird year for the TCG. It's a weird, they bring in like these gimmicks that sometimes hit, sometimes don't. Like the V-Star ones were cool. I think some of the V-Star alternate arts and some of those rainbows are great. But overall, you don't hear too many people talk about the awesomeness of the V-Star, like in the VMAX, all this shit. Most people kind of, it's cool. We'll see what happens. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. That's your update for Surging Sparks, and I'll talk for that, man. Just yapping and yapping about it. Everyone else is yapping about it, so we're gonna. It's crazy though. Milotic, that's a very slept-on card in my opinion. That's a very beautiful card, and people, they'll come around.